Hey, what's up, everybody? See, Double's in the house. Now, this is just the intro, real quick. I'm going to start sharing the link and getting people involved so we can actually do this the right way. So, hang tight. We are live on YouTube on the C Double channel, and this is going to be the new home of the C Double network. And I am calling it simply the C Double Review. We're going to talk this week in wrestling, and I hope y'all are ready for this because, quite honestly, it's about time we do something. So, without further ado, please be patient. I'll be right back with you. All right. All right. Testing, testing, testing. Awesome. Please give me a All right. Well, I know it took a little long, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to start up a show. And this is technically my first go round. So I apologize for kind of, you know, having to go through everything that I was doing. I wanted to make sure that the Atlanta Bird Gang, as well as the eye test, as well as sports in Atlanta, the groups that I posted in, I wanted to make sure you guys got a chance to be a part of it. Now, look, if I have some viewers, and right now I don't, but when I do, and we get some folks being a part of it, I'm going to go ahead and be basically, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk wrestling. It's about, I'm going to basically be doing a review on WrestleMania. We're about to do the review for the week before WrestleMania, which was this past Monday night, all the way down to this past SmackDown. And then we're going to talk AEW. I'm going to probably talk about some Falcon stuff to just start off because I got to let some stuff off my chest. And we're going to go from there and also get into the debate of AEW versus WWE. How do you tell a story and can you do both without a problem? So, hold on. And by the way, if you respond, please message me, shoot me a text, anything you'd like. We're going to talk. That is my goal, is to make this as interactive as possible. So, and like I said, I'm really hoping to get some comments. We can actually be able to, be a part and be able to have some chats as well. And I'm just excited about it because, like I said, I've been wanting to do this for a while. If you haven't known, my name is C Double. You probably see me on the eye test. I've been on Atlanta Bird Gang. I've been pretty much whatever Atlanta Falcons content creator is. I like to be on their shows. I like to talk. I like to give my opinions. The Birdcage. Big shout out to Ryan Historian. And I like to really just, thank a lot of y'all because, being a part of, the Falcons talk, we get this camaraderie, we get this comfortableness to just be able to be a part of these shows. Like I've been on recently on Talk Your Ish with Ron, his buddy Dennis, and Miss Chocolate Girl, Miss Sharon. So I wanted to thank y'all as well. Big Red, want to thank you. I am just hanging and banging today. It's going to be one of those that I have been wanting to do this for a while. And, when you watch Raw, when you watch SmackDown, you kind of go, okay, what's next for the next level? And I've always been a guy of long-term storytelling. We're going to go over that in a bit. We're going to go over that in a bit. I'm actually trying to pull up the results from everything because I watched it. But, when you're doing this stuff, you tend to also get forgetful as well as being like, well, damn, what do we do? You kind of have to play the game of how do we, pivot, and then when you're watching, you're not taking notes, you'll be like, oh, I forgot this match. Oh, I forgot this interview. So we'll get it all handled out. We're going to get it all straight. I'm going to do my best as a one-man show. My goal is to get more people involved. I will say that. I would love for people to be a part of this thing, as well as just, give me their feedback. Let's build a live chat. Let's have fun with this. This is, as long as I'm alive, I'm going to keep doing it, and we're going to not let depression and anxiety stop us from that. So, C Double here. Little intro about me. I am a wrestling fan. 1987 was my first WrestleMania 3, and I have been hooked from then to now. All right. So, what qualifies me as wrestling? Well, it's real simple. I just watch it, and I see what I watch, and I like what I watch, and I remember what I am into. A1 Forever, thank you so much for the shout out. I appreciate you so much. Chris Tipmore, guys, check him out on A1 Forever. He's also on Smitty's show. And I mean, they really come up with some great content. It's the Falcons talk we do, and as well as they talk basketball for the Hawks. It's fun. I mean, I tell you, this year has been really fun because I got sick and tired of hearing the radio and hearing corporate speak. So I've been listening to Smitty. I'll listen, and now it's like hearing Smitty, A1, hearing Berto. Wolf Solidify. I mean, there's so many out there. Off the Mark. You hear all these guys, and you're like, yeah. And not only that, you get to feel like, yeah, I see what he's talking about. So for me, I love my guys. They are awesome. Berto, Ladarius, and me were doing some live reactions the other day. Or we did live reacts for the Rumble as well as the Chamber. I don't know about Mania yet. We got to find out if Berto's going. If Berto's going, we're happy for him, and we'll all rejoice for him. If not, we'll do a 2-night review. If not, I think we'll come up with something. I kind of hope what we could do is just have basically we all have our phones on us. We do a live react from where we are, and we're just shooting the breeze, having fun, talking smack, watching wrestling, and having a blast that way. So with that being said, let me talk about the Falcons real quick, if you don't mind, because this is my show, and I like to do things where if something comes up, I'm going to, I want to let some steam off. This is where I can do it. So if y'all haven't known, this has been free agency market. We're about to get into the draft in less than 4 weeks. And the Falcons, we got a quarterback, and then we bought a receiver. But then it's you got these ancillary pieces. You got, Ray McDonald. It's you kind of can reason it. But everyone I know, we were all well, what about the pass rush? What about the pass rush? Well, just recently, one of the last guys that was supposedly a guy that the Falcons were in on, Hassan Reddick, got traded. And the deal he went for is what aggravates me. Because, and then also I'm looking at our guy over, thank you, A1, I appreciate you. Yes, we're doing our thing. We're having some fun, so I just definitely appreciate you. So I do appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. But yeah, man, it's one of those. I'm going to just keep going here. And, the more comments, we'll put them all up. But my thing is here, I like pass rushers. We got to have a pass rush, and last year, yeah, we had a good collective pass rush, but the guys know I would harp on this a lot. When we needed to play the most, the guy that just comes off that edge and hits the guy, we didn't have him. So that's why we were all kind of hoping. And then you got Brian Burns, who goes for a third and a fifth, and it's not even connected to this year's draft with the Giants. You got Hassan Reddick. It's I can understand Falcon fans being mad because I'm kind of the same way. I'm not really happy with us kind of delaying a pass rush. So that's, like I said, that's just my feeling. Braves started yesterday. Good job. We'll find out more about the Sean Murphy injury in a bit. Like I said, I'm not really, when I'm on here in this element, with the CW review show, I didn't put any, what is it? Because I want to review whatever I want to review. That's kind of how I'm getting around this. But yeah, man, the Braves started off like we all thought, but the injury, we'll see how we could do. We still have Travis Deneau, and that man's a bad boy, so he can help out. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, the draft's coming up in less than 4 weeks, guys. Stay tuned to the Atlanta Bird Game, Smitty Sports Machine, Uncle Steve's Lounge, Bigelow Country, Off the Mark. Yeah, there's a whole lot of them, folks. Out of Your Falcon Mind is another. There are so many. Wolf Solidify will be on eventually, and you're going to be able to hear these guys giving you their thoughts, doing some mocks, kind of giving you their strategies involved. And if you're into that, man, check them out. Go find them. They're on YouTube. Smitty is Mr. 10K. He's one of the best. I enjoy listening to him talk on this. So what we're going to do now. And by the way, I have been trying to do this where I can actually, hey, let's go through the shows and, we're going to take here this. Nah, bro, we're just going to go straight where I could just do a review, have fun with it, because sometimes you just need that. Monday Night Raw, and I got to go here. I have heard many people say this, and I've been a fan of wrestling for a long time. I'll tell you what I heard. People saying this was one of the best Raws. From my opinion, it sure as hell was. I was hooked from opening to end. And a couple of small little things that we'll talk about that I'm not real thrilled with. But the important stuff is coming together. First of all, WrestleMania 40, it's going to be in Philadelphia next weekend. Saturday is night one. Next Sunday is night two. And I hope y'all are gathered around the Peacock. You ready to watch it and just, man, just get ready for it. It's going to be fun. I think the card is going to be really set up the way you want it to. But let's start off. Cody Rhodes comes out, and the fans, look, they love him. And the whole thing with The Rock, the Shake, everything, and people not knowing what's going on. Look, Cody and The Rock, there's got to be a bigger plan, but I'm not worried about it just yet. But my thing is this. When you have a WrestleMania main event, or when you have the guy that picks the opponent, you got to have some kind of element of takeaway. And we had that. And boy, did you see how the fans reacted to that. When you have that pull away and the fans are that hooked, we want Cody, Cody chants. I mean, it has made Cody the bigger babyface even more than he was before. Whether people want to agree with it or not, he is. So with that being said, give me 1 second, please. I'm going to take this for. Sorry, I had to take that call. So I was waiting on that person. So anyway, with that being said, it was simple. We had Cody Rhodes coming in, talking of Chicago. What do you want to talk about? 2 weeks in, and he's talking about him and Roman, but there's an obstacle with The Rock. Okay? But he made it very clear about The Rock to Roman that he hated his guts. Make no mistake, he hates his guts, and he's hellbound on determined to beat Roman. And this was key. Before we go into what happens later, Roman has kind of been the fourth wheel in this, and that's been another thing that's bothering me. All right. And we'll talk about what Paul Heyman said on SmackDown. I still didn't like it because it was just kind of lame. And then the biggest pop later, as Cody's talking, he's pointing about the sign, The Rock shows up. And let me tell you, this entrance The Rock does now is the most really awesome entrance. Thanos, people say Thanos. When I saw that screen saying Final Boss, I'm like, whoo! Comes in, the crowd's electric, thinking we're going to get a Rock promo versus Cody, and a lot of us didn't want that because you kind of, we're seeing it. When we're going to get some physicality. Rock just whispers in Cody's ear, and we find out from a lot of different sources, he basically told him, I'm going to make you bleed. Leaves. Fans are booing because they didn't get what they want. And then after that, when you leave up, the interviewer asks Rock, what did you say to Cody? And Rock just simply says, ask Cody yourself. All right. My thoughts on this. If that stopped there, I was interested, but kind of let down because I would be like, now we got to watch SmackDown, see what, So that's why I said, you got to watch. So then, Judgment Day, they had their little get together. We got Ricochet versus JD McDonough. One of the coolest moves I saw was JD, or Ricochet doing a standing shooting stars press, and the man landing it on a standing opponent. That in itself is very awesome. You can't get over that. That was a really good, three. People say 3 out of 4 stars if you're getting star ratings. I'm not big on that. That's just me. All right, let's talk about it. CM Punk came out to Chicago's crowd. When you want to pop, and you're in Chicago, you call us Phil. All right, but let that be what it is. And if y'all haven't heard, Phil, started it off by asking Pat, because it's funny how people need to talk about Phil. And normally I would be like, man, that is so not true. This is true. He named everyone. Roman Reigns, and he looks at Pat, he says, you had him on your show. And he was talking about me. And he goes, I didn't even know you had a show. I'm usually addicted. I'm listening to The Experience in the drive-thru. By the way, look, I don't know what people think about Jim Cornette. Here's what I'm going to say. Historian-wise, he's actually one of the best guys you want to hear if you're about wrestling and you want to hear the past, okay? Personal takes, guys, you got to take it what you consume what you want. You like what you want. No one needs to tell you who to follow or whatnot. So Roman brought that up. Roman talks about how everyone's asking, or CM Punk, what are you going to do at WrestleMania? What you going to do? What you going to do? Well, he's not Hulk Hogan, but he could be he could do commentary. He could do, he could maybe ref. Someone said host. He said 10 years ago that wouldn't be in his thought process. Now he probably think about it because he wants to be around the people. This really picked up though when we got Drew McIntyre to come out. And when Drew McIntyre came out, I'm looking forward because I really want to. And he mentioned The Rock, because one person that hadn't said his name has been The Rock. And he goes, because 10 years ago, actually 11, Punk said a line during the feud and basically said, your arms are too short to box with God. And I got to go here. That was still one of those. I'm not a CM Punk fan. I will say this. But when it comes to the promos and the mic work he does, it is phenomenal. You can't mistake that. And also his ring work is good. That's why I've kept giving chance, because I know the ability this guy has. Really good wrestler. And I cannot wait till he gets better. We'll talk more about that when time comes up. Drew McIntyre comes out. And Punk is literally just having so much fun with this now. He's like, cut this man's music off. No one wants to hear it. And Drew McIntyre calls Punk repeatedly saying that for several months now. Punk said that he doesn't live off social media. Wink, wink. All right. Then he calls the people to the face. McIntyre comes out with the entrance. McIntyre, said, he's not medically clear. Or Punk says it. He's not medically clear, but he's looking for a fight. So get his bitch butt out of here and let's fight. McIntyre reminded him every time he's been in the ring with him, he gets hurt. And that's a great heel tech. The work Drew McIntyre is doing, by the way, folks, A+. Honestly, I hate to say it, I keep thinking it's Punk versus Drew because Seth is right there, but I don't. It's hilarious when you really hear all this stuff. But one of the best lines, I got to remember this. Drew says, Punk doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs. He spends all his time in rehab. And Drew doesn't hate him. He says, you complete me. You're my muse. When I can't get it, I think of you and I go full throttle. And Drew's, was sitting on commentary, and he likes the idea of Punk being in the front row, watching him when and at this point I'm going, this has been really good. But then he says the chosen one, and Punk just starts going, who named you that? What Virtue named you that. And my God, the face Drew McIntyre made was priceless. That was hilarious. I thought Drew was going to crack. It was really good. A+ on that one. So Drew McIntyre, suggests that Seth Rollins comes in because he is the champ, and he's going, we're talking, you guys are talking about it, but I'm the champion. But I do like the idea. And, he basically goes, you want to, and he's looking at Punk going, you want to know what, this is Monday Night Rollins? He's like, yep. And he goes, we know this show is mine. And Punk returns fire going, this might be your show, but this is my city. Really good. Punk is in this was really sharp. I enjoyed it. And then says if you two morons, even had one brain cell, but my favorite thing was, the whole title mention. And then he's asking the crowd. The crowd's saying referee. And Seth is like, and Punk's got this brace on his arm. And he goes, guys, that's his ref arm. 1, 2, 3. He automatically does the count. The crowd pops. And then Punk's look at everyone and goes, guys, I can't even referee because I can't be biased to these two dipshits. Love what you do, man. What's your thoughts of Bray? Oh, I'll talk about that as soon as we get done because April 1st is going to be that link film that they did for Bray Wyatt. And I'm looking very forward to that. So let me finish this Punk thing and then we'll go through. Or, the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, by the way, the World Heavyweight Championship is featured in this, and it's almost like an afterthought. But, so they actually declare the commentary. And Punk likes the idea, because then Punk, with the best party shot I can think of, basically says, guys, I'm going to do what you guys can't do. Make you sound important. I'm telling you, for someone that, when you talk about this match, you go, oh, they don't, need Punk. They have been needing Punk because here's the thing. When you look at ever since the Rumble to now, it's like Punk has been a character that actually has been needed in this. And I almost say I love it. I do love it. So real quick, it's the women's match. It didn't last long. Ivy Niles loses to Candice LeRae, so she's turning heel. You saw that. My thoughts on Bray Wyatt. Let's talk about that because I like this question or this thought. Let's show this. Yeah, thank you, Nando or Mania. All right, my thoughts on Bray Wyatt. Should have been the man that beat Taker at Mania. That only man. The presence, the passion, the creativity, legendary. And people are like, well, why ain't he gonna be? I think it's too much, or not too much. I think because you got to remember, his dad's going to be getting into the Hall of Fame, and maybe I think they want to do it at another city. But honestly, my thing is this: if they've talked to the family, and they have. They did this film. I cannot wait to watch it. It's going to be on Peacock. Being Bray Wyatt Immortal, guys, watch it. Let's see it. We'll talk about it. I think it's going to be freaking phenomenal. The work. Everyone that talks about Bray Wyatt has nothing but good things about him. I remember meeting someone that was a fan of his, and they were telling me about how sweet and kind he was, how he was basically welcoming and just chatting around. This is the kind of guy that you just hate to see go, and he's gonna be missed, man. And I cannot wait. I can't wait to see this thing because I think you're gonna see some really good stuff. New Day versus DIY. It was a good match. Judgment Day ran in though, beat up everybody. Here's my thought on that. I really do feel we're seeing them push for Cody or R-Truth and Miz to win, but man, I really want DIY to win. I want DIY to win, or surprise, Austin Theory and Waller. I'll talk about that later on. I like that group. Intercontinental Champion, interviewed by Kath Kelly, Gunther. Basically had his words about Sami Zayn. Don't believe he's going to beat Homeboy. He ain't going to beat Bronson Reed. Problem. Sami Zayn beat Bronson Reed to get to the match. To get against Gunther. We'll talk about that. Andrade versus Gianni Vinci. If they can keep doing a slow work with Andrade, I'm interested. Don't play. And I'm glad they haven't shoehorned him in the hey, you're Spanish. Get in the Rey Mysterio feud. Because come on, guys. We could do multiple things. All right, Rhea Ripley enters the ring. We all know, if you saw last weekend's X and seeing what Rhea performed for us, you will know God is good. God is good all the time. So, yeah, Rhea Ripley basically is talking about she doesn't have to wrestle. She's, she's the best. And then, the thing that really intrigued me with this promo, Becky comes out and basically is slandering her. Basically, you haven't really been working, but yes, she's done the house shows. Look, I think creatively, you could say Rhea Ripley has not been looked at favorably, but she is dominant. She has that look. She's been to highs and lows. So for people to go, oh, she's just getting over for guys, she's put the work in. It's been a couple of years, but she's put the work in. So that's my thoughts on that. I think bringing in the daughter was kind of a low, but yet, when you're working and trying to get people to look at your match, you got to bring all the weapons you can. And by the way, Rhea versus Becky will be phenomenal. I'm looking quite forward to it. If you saw Sami Zayn beat or lose to Bronson Reed. Chad Gable's doing all the talking. It is what it is. It looks like we're going to have a Rocky moment there. Now, Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Mori. Jey wins, but it's all about what happened afterwards. And y'all seen it. Rock beats the holy piss out of Cody. And I got to go here. It was Final Boss worthy. It was one of those, when you watched it, you were like, oh, we doing this. So you heard Rock cuss. You heard Rock throwing stuff around. And you saw Rock bloody Cody Rhodes. And I'm going to go here. We needed physicality. I've been yelling this a lot. My problem is this, though. No Roman. And then on SmackDown, Paul Heyman goes, the tribal chief will give you his thoughts, or he put the order in. I want Roman to be a part of this. I really do. As I pop my ear out, I want Roman to be a part of this. And here's why. Roman is the fourth wheel on this, and he's the champ. So people are all excited about Cody beating up on The Rock, and it's like, this ain't even the main event, y'all. But look, it's getting over. Now, the bloody, I know people were, very upset or mad. How can you do this? Look, when you are in wrestling, when you don't bleed all the time, AEW, when you don't cuss all the time, AEW, when you don't, act like a fourth-ranked show, when you do moves or things of this nature, everyone sees it, and everyone takes notice. Rock cussing and beating Cody like he owes him money. I tell you, it's one of the best things that you will ever see. I think it was awesome. Talk on the mama. And I'm glad SmackDown, we did not see Cody. I am looking forward to Raw. And Roman has to make it very clear he's the boss, not The Rock. Because right now, we want Roman or Cody versus Rock, and it ain't happening. But yeah, I can't wait. Actually, I was going to do more, but I want to actually cut it short. So I just went over Raw. Probably tomorrow or maybe a little later today, I'll come in and do SmackDown and AEW. So we'll talk about that. So guys, thank you so much. Appreciate who all viewed. And we're going to keep doing this, and we'll go on from there. I'm C Double. I'm out.